And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud. I would say you could get about 20 years in prison. So that operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for.
Sunny Hostin's name has become synonymous with controversy, and you already know why. A single moment of candid commentary spiraled into one of the most talked about media scandals of our time. But this isn't just about a $100 million lawsuit, it's about power, influence, and the high cost of speaking your truth in an era where every word is weaponized. While other channels may scratch the surface, we're here to uncover the layers most people miss. Here's the part nobody seems to talk about. Sunny's story isn't just a personal ordeal, it's a mirror reflecting the precarious balance of media freedom, public accountability, and legal overreach. How did a discussion about curated public personas transform into a legal inferno? Why did Sunny, a legal commentator known for her incisive analysis, become the target of a lawsuit that many see as a calculated act of silencing dissent? And more importantly, what does her story reveal about the unseen forces shaping public narratives?
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just
Sunny Hostin wasn't just another face on daytime television. She was a force of nature. As a former federal prosecutor, she had built her reputation by tackling high-profile cases with an unwavering commitment to justice. Her career transition to daytime TV wasn't a simple pivot. It was a deliberate effort to make the law accessible to the public, breaking down complex legal issues with clarity and precision. She wasn't there to entertain. She was there to educate, challenge, and provoke thought. For years, she thrived in this role, balancing sharp legal insights with an approachable on-screen persona. But as we've seen before, even the sharpest minds can falter under the unrelenting pressure of live television. Sunny's ability to tackle controversial issues made her a standout on the panel of a popular daytime talk show. She wasn't afraid to wade into contentious waters, often speaking with a confidence that bordered on audacity. Viewers appreciated her authenticity, but with that boldness came risk. Live TV has no pause button, no redo, and every word spoken can become a headline. The segment that would upend her career began innocuously enough. It was a discussion about celebrities and the ways they cultivate their public images for profit. The panel bantered about influencers and reality stars. Harmless, easy-to-digest fare for daytime TV. But as the conversation meandered, someone mentioned Melania Trump. That's when the atmosphere shifted. What had been lighthearted suddenly felt charged. Sunny, leaning into her legal expertise, began dissecting the risks that public figures face when their curated personas don't align with reality. She raised a point about how courts could scrutinize philanthropic claims made by high-profile individuals, especially if those claims were found to be misleading.
How did a convicted felon resonate more with Americans? Now, as Whoopi said, that we have a convicted felon in the White House.
At first glance, it seemed like a typical Sunny Hostin moment. Direct, insightful, and confident. But it was one comment, almost an aside, that sparked the firestorm. Sunny mentioned how even seemingly noble charitable endeavors could be examined under the lens of fraud if evidence surfaced that they were more about optics than actual impact. This wasn't just legal commentary, it was a thinly veiled critique, one that viewers immediately connected to Melania Trump's public persona. The implications were clear, even if unspoken. Was Sunny suggesting that Melania's philanthropic work might not hold up under legal scrutiny? It was a question that no one else had dared to ask on national television, and it sent shockwaves through the room. Here's the insight few have considered. This wasn't just about what Sunny said, it was about timing. By this point, Melania Trump's post-White House life had been largely defined by a carefully crafted image of elegance and philanthropy. Her reputation, already polarizing, was undergoing rehabilitation in the eyes of her supporters. Sunny's remarks didn't just challenge Melania, they threatened to unravel years of meticulous image management. And in a media landscape that thrives on polarization, this wasn't just a critique. It was a direct threat to the brand Melania's team had worked so hard to construct. The fallout wasn't accidental, it was calculated. Melania's legal team understood the stakes immediately. They knew that this wasn't just about one comment. It was about sending a message. Questioning the credibility of a figure as high profile as Melania Trump would come with consequences. That's why the $100 million lawsuit wasn't just a legal move, it was a declaration of war. What's often overlooked is the subtle power dynamics at play. Melania's team likely anticipated that a lawsuit of this magnitude would dominate headlines, but they also understood how it would shift the narrative. Instead of debating the validity of Sunny's remarks, the focus shifted to Sunny herself.
I mean, I just didn't like the optics of a convicted felon sitting in the White House near a fire. Eliminate a convicted felon.
Was she reckless? Did she overstep? Suddenly, the commentator became the story, and the original conversation about philanthropy and accountability was lost in the noise. It's easy to think of this as just another celebrity controversy, but here's where it becomes something more. Sunny's remarks didn't exist in a vacuum. They were part of a larger, unspoken tension in media. Daytime talk shows, which traditionally relied on lighthearted banter, had become battlegrounds for cultural and political discourse. Hosts were no longer just entertainers. They were commentators, analysts, and occasionally scapegoats. Sunny wasn't just commenting on Melania Trump, she was challenging an entire system of curated narratives and the untouchability of those at the top. The aftermath of that segment revealed a harsh truth about the media landscape. When you challenge power, power strikes back. And for Sunny, the consequences would be immediate, far-reaching, and entirely unprecedented. Within days, Melania's legal team issued a blistering statement, calling Sunny's on-air commentary defamatory. The backlash was swift, but the true shock came when the lawsuit was officially announced, a $100 million defamation claim. This wasn't just a legal case, it was a statement. Melania Trump's team wanted to send a clear message. Questioning her reputation would come at a steep price. The staggering amount of the lawsuit sent shockwaves across the entertainment industry. Talk show hosts were suddenly asking themselves if they could be next. But for Sunny, the stakes were more personal. This lawsuit threatened to dismantle not just her career, but her life as she knew it. This lawsuit wasn't simply about punitive damages, it was about control. The unprecedented figure served as a warning shot to media personalities everywhere. Challenge the powerful, and you'll pay dearly. Few people stopped to consider the irony that a public figure so deeply associated with grace and poise would take such an aggressive stance to protect her image. But there was more at stake than appearances. This case had the potential to set a dangerous precedent, one where legitimate analysis and free speech could be stifled by those with the resources to weaponize the legal system. What many overlooked was how deeply this lawsuit was entwined with the broader narrative of cultural division. For Melania's supporters, Sunny's remarks weren't just a critique of her philanthropy, they were an attack on an icon of elegance and resilience. For Sunny's fans, the lawsuit wasn't just about a single comment, it was an attempt to silence a strong, independent voice unafraid to question those in power. This wasn't just a legal battle, it was a cultural clash playing out on a national stage. The pressure on Sunny was immense. Her legal team knew that even if the case didn't end in a massive payout, the process alone could drain her financially and emotionally. But what they couldn't have anticipated was the sheer scale of the media circus that would follow. As the lawsuit unfolded, it wasn't just Sunny's career on the line, it was the integrity of media discourse itself. News outlets, social media, and tabloids pounced. Overnight, Sunny's name became a trending topic, with hashtags like Cancel Sunny calling for her resignation. But as always, there were two sides. Supporters launched their own campaign, I Stand With Sunny, arguing that free speech and spirited debate were cornerstones of her role. Celebrities weighed in, adding fuel to the fire. Kim Kardashian spoke about the responsibility of public figures to be meticulous with their words. Meghan McCain, a former colleague, cryptically tweeted, "Be sure before you speak. The cost could be everything." Every comment, every soundbite added to the drama. But even as the media spotlight burned brighter, Sunny maintained her composure, or so it seemed. Then came the twist no one expected. Rumors began to swirl that Sunny had quietly left the United States. At first, it seemed like tabloid speculation, but the whispers grew louder when paparazzi photos surfaced, showing her at a European airport. Disguised in sunglasses and a scarf, Sunny appeared hurried and tense as she navigated the terminal. Melania Trump's legal team pounced on this development, accusing Sunny of fleeing to avoid accountability. Social media exploded. Was this a strategic move to complicate the lawsuit, or was it a personal retreat to escape the relentless scrutiny? While critics painted her as a legal fugitive, her supporters argued that anyone under such immense pressure would need a moment to regroup. The truth behind her departure remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of this saga. But here's the part that few consider. Was Sunny's departure more than just an act of self-preservation? Legal experts have speculated that stepping out of the country might have been a strategic move to slow the legal process. International law complicates direct service of legal documents, and her absence could have forced Melania's legal team to jump through additional hoops, potentially delaying the case. It's a risky strategy, but one that high-profile figures have used before to gain leverage in legal disputes. Moreover, consider the psychological toll. Public figures are expected to maintain composure under pressure, but few experience the unrelenting intensity of a media scandal combined with a financial threat of this magnitude. Sunny's decision to leave could have been her way of reclaiming control in a situation where she was rapidly losing it. This move also sparked a broader conversation about the lengths people will go to protect their mental health. In an era where public scrutiny is amplified by social media, the pressure to respond to every accusation can be crushing. By stepping away, Sunny may have been making a statement of her own, that no lawsuit, no matter how high profile, would dictate her narrative. Meanwhile, her absence added another layer of intrigue to the story. Her silence allowed speculation to run wild, shifting the public's focus from the lawsuit's merits to the drama of her escape. Was this a calculated attempt to let the public debate itself into exhaustion, or simply a case of a person at their breaking point seeking solace far from the chaos? One thing is certain. Sunny's departure didn't just alter the trajectory of the lawsuit, it reframed the entire narrative. What began as a $100 million legal battle had now become a global spectacle, with every move analyzed and debated. Her absence raised more questions than answers, leaving both her supporters and critics to fill in the blanks. And in the world of media, unanswered questions are the most powerful kind of fuel. Back home, Sunny's absence was glaring. Her talk show struggled to maintain its chemistry as guest hosts cycled in and out. Advertisers began pulling their spots, wary of associating with the controversy. Competing shows seized the opportunity to discuss the lawsuit, inviting legal analysts to dissect every possible outcome. For the network, the stakes couldn't have been higher. Should they stand by Sunny and risk being dragged further into the legal battle? Or cut ties to protect their brand? Behind the scenes, executives scrambled to contain the fallout, knowing the wrong move could cost them dearly. Eventually, Sunny returned to the public eye. The lawsuit was settled behind closed doors, with neither side revealing the exact terms. But the scars of the ordeal were evident. Sunny joked in one interview, "I now have a PhD in defamation law," referencing the crash course she'd undergone. Her reflections were candid. The ordeal had forced her to reconsider the thin line between spirited analysis and potential defamation. But she remained steadfast in her belief that public figures' actions should be open to scrutiny. Sunny's story serves as a cautionary tale for talk show hosts and commentators everywhere. The stakes in media discourse have never been higher. Words carry weight, and in an era of instant amplification, a single comment can spiral into a career-altering storm. Yet Sunny's resilience has become a symbol of perseverance. While others might have crumbled, she faced the storm head-on, even if it meant stepping away to find her footing. Her story isn't just about a lawsuit, it's about the power of words, the price of controversy, and the strength it takes to weather both. So, what do you think? Did Sunny's comments cross a line, or was the lawsuit an overreach designed to silence criticism? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, the truth isn't always black and white, it's often hiding in the gray, waiting to be uncovered.